welcome, one and all. Y'all, thank you for joining us for another edition of Coffee and Conversations. I am super excited because we have our good friend. Y'all know who she is. Y'all, she's a rising star in these YouTube streets. Y'all, it's none other. I present to some and introduce to others. Mrs. Paula does retirement. Welcome, Mrs. Paula, and a special welcome to you and your viewing audience. Welcome. Friends are already gathering, Mrs. Paula. So, Mrs. Paula, we'll just say a good morning to everyone, and we're going to go ahead because, y'all, this is a lively discussion I can already predict. Go ahead. Welcome. Good morning, Mrs. Paula.
Good morning, my friend Kendi K. It is so nice to be here with you. And thank you to everyone. Hey, even my digital grandson Jagar is here this morning. Thank you to all our friends who are in the chat. It's so kind of you, especially joining us on Labor Day weekend. And I want to thank my girlfriend Kendi K for inviting me to be on her channel. It is an honor and a privilege, my darling.
Well, I am just pleased as punch that we are able to connect today and super excited. Now, albeit I was a little bit nervous because when we realized we booked this for during the Labor Day weekend, but friends are gathering us. So God is amongst us. God is always with us, in fact. And so we are moving forward because friends are gathering. And Jagar says, "Hi, Granny." Jagar
Hello,
says, "Hi,
grandson."
Granny." I just put up his comment. I love that. Gemini Diva 79, mod for the God, and member of Kendi K's. The crew has already checked in. In fact, let me shout out our very first comment, even, Mrs. Paula, can you believe this? Even before this stream started, we heard from our good friend Karen, YouTube over 40. It says that it is, hello, beautiful ladies. She left this in advance for us as encouragement. We both are good friends of Karen, and her channel is YouTube over 40. Check out Karen, YouTube over 40. She says, hello, beautiful ladies. It's 1 a.m. here. This is another one of our friends from across the pond. But occasionally, she is in, Paula, where?
New Zealand. Wellington specifically, I think.
Okay, in New Zealand for sure. That's my 49-year-old brain, y'all. Y'all know how it is. I'm a woman of a particular age. And things, it's the little details that are starting to fade into the background. But occasionally she says, I'm still up for a little bit. Otherwise, I'll catch you on replay. So we thank you for putting that good energy already out for us. This is already going to be a super great. Claire, the missing link, welcome in, friend. Welcome. Evie, our good friend Evie is also here with us. Thank you in that chat. Thank you to all the friends in the chat. So, friends, whether you catch us on the replay or if you're here live, and in living color, y'all look at Mrs. Paula. Doesn't she look beautiful? Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Y'all know I can't sing, but you can't tell me.
Kendi K, this is how you wave when you're a woman of a certain age plus 10, because you don't want any arm jiggle going on like this. So this is my wave now.
Friends, y'all better lean into that. She's giving you pro tips. You don't want to flap it in the wind.
Don't be doing that.
You keep it cool and you keep it classy. I like that, Mrs. Paula. Mrs. Paula is dropping gems and pro tips right now. I love that for you, Mrs. Paula. I love that for me. You have taught me something. Y'all better get into that. Y'all better get into that. Yes.
Because otherwise, this can knock me out.
Hey. Won't them flappers start flapping, Mrs. Paula? Won't they flap? They start flapping on us, right? Yes. So many friends are logging in. I'm going to just put some of these up, Mrs. Paula, for you so that you can see. There's Debbie Sue checking in, connecting. Everyone's in the chat, just chatting it up. And that's what we want. Y'all see me. Mrs. Paula is joining me for Coffee and Conversations right here in Kendi K's kitchen. Y'all, sometimes I record in other rooms in my home office. But yeah, I tend to just love being in the kitchen because there's no pretense, not trying to put on airs or anything. Just come on in and sit down and let's just talk. Let's just connect like friends would do. And y'all, as you can see, I hope if you are new to Mrs. Paula Does Retirement, you better go ahead and connect. And Mrs. Paula Does Retirement, my mods are dropping your channel link all throughout this stream. That is the only channel link being dropped because you are our special guest. And
Thank you.
my mama taught me, when guests come, you give them your best. And so
Yes,
we
ma'am.
are giving you our best. And that is why yours is the only channel link that we are dropping during this live stream.
Thank you.
And you're very welcome, my friend. Come on and connect with Mrs. Paula Does Retirement. Come on and connect with Mrs. Paula Does Retirement. I'm just super excited that we are here and that, yeah, there are both of our channel names right there so that you all can capture that. If you're not connected with me, I'm Kendi K all day. And y'all, we have another special guest, and she's still a little camera shy. But again, at 77 years old, this special guest can do whatever she wants. She can do whatever she wants. My special guest is my mommy, who is here visiting at the end of the summer. Mrs. Paula, speaking up into the summer, I'm just asking you, because in my mind, when we get to the Labor Day weekend, I just consider that the unofficial end of summer. How do you feel about that?
Kendi K, I have always considered Labor Day the end of summer. But now that I'm retired and I spend a lot of time on the back porch, I am clinging to the last, what is that word, vestiges, the last little moments of summer. So I just want to string it out as long as I possibly can.
I feel you on that. I feel you on that. Y'all, Mrs. Paula, this is her first year being a retired lady who has spent years, and you're going to tell us a little bit about how many years, but years giving public service to America's young people. Tell them about your career and the career that you just retired from, Mrs. Paula.
Thank you, Kendi K. I would love to because I'm very proud of it. I was an elementary school counselor for 21 years. And I always said, and I still say, it is the best job in the universe. Now, middle school and high school counselors have all my respect and love, but they don't get to play with Play-Doh. So if you're going to become a school counselor, anybody in the chat, you need to become elementary school counselor because you get to play with Play-Doh, you get to play in the sand tray, you get to build with Legos, you get to do all the fun stuff while you're listening to little people tell you about their feelings. And that is the most precious thing you can ever hear, is when little people, K through 6, tell you about their feelings. It's wonderful.
Can you all see the dedication? Can you see the commitment, like I said, to America's young people and to the little people?
Yes.
In America's public schools? Because y'all, I just know, because I've seen it as I work professionally. I've seen it not just to the children, but frankly to the adults post-COVID, the amount of services. And it's, when we think of schools, it's not just about teaching, and it's not just reading, writing, and arithmetic, but it is about the whole child. And yes, in fact, it's about the whole family, right? And absolutely, until we solve or until we work to support the whole family, then the child's whole needs are just really not being served. And so again, thank you for your commitment. So when we talk about Veterans Day, to me, that should be honoring our service members for Veterans Day in November. And we should also be honoring educators and those who support educators, all of the things to me now. So thank you. And I mean that sincerely. Thank you for your public service to America's young people. And she still gives back. Yo, she said, Kendi K, yes, we are still good to go on this episode of Coffee and Conversations with Candy K all day. But Mrs. Paula let me know. But Candy K, I've got to get out here in my community and support more young people after that. And I said, absolutely, Mrs. Paula. I fully understand. So, y'all, I'm glad everyone is already super committed to this live stream and in
Thank
here talking, and we're just going to keep right on rolling along. Y'all, I'm super excited. So, y'all, forgive me in the chat. I'm going to keep trying to be very consistent. And here's one of your good friends.
Teacher
I know this good friend from your channel, Teacher Kelly.
Yes.
Yes. And now, if you know Mrs. Paula, you're going to catch, this is one of my favorite places to see you, Mrs. Paula, is on your sun porch out back. I just love to see you on the sun porch. And because first of all, it takes me back to my granny's sun porch, both of them, God rest their souls. It just takes me back to that because I'm originally from the Midwest, and we used to come south every summer and just kicking back and drinking some sweet tea and just swinging on the porch swing. I just remember those fond memories. And so that's why I love to see you on the sun porch. I love to see your hanging basket of flowers. I just love that. And I think a lot of people do, because I would in fact say you are, according to Candy K now, you are a rising star in these YouTube streets. Mrs. Paula, you have gone to superstardom level because you have already surpassed 1,000 subscribers.
I have
1,000, over 1,000 plus, hashtag and beyond, hashtag and beyond subscribers. Do you see why I call you a rising star, Mrs. Paula?
I appreciate that. Candy K, in my eyes, you are the rising star, the only rising star on this live, but I appreciate the fact that you think I'm a rising star. So thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Welcome in Weekends with Nay. Weekends with Nay is in these YouTube streets. And if I'm not mistaken, Weekends with Nay, you're in education as well, are you not? I think I remember that, but y'all, I'm just starting my coffee. I'm just starting my coffee. Now, this is coffee, and it's a little light-skinned. Okay, she's a little blondie because I have added some 30-gram protein shake to it, because I have some good sweet cream in here, creamer. So I'm trying to soften that up by adding the fortified with some 30-gram protein shake as well. Mrs. Paula, what are you sipping on this morning, if anything?
Candy K, I have two drinks. First, in my Tennessee mug, I have hot tea with lemon and sugar to soothe my allergy throat.
Yes.
And then I haven't started sipping on this yet, but my backup beverage is water with electrolytes in case my mouth gets really dry.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to take a sip.
Yes. Out of the mason jar. Catch that mason jar.
Yeah, Golden Harvest mason jar. This is my fancy glassware.
Right, that here is fancy. Y'all, do you see why I love Mrs. Paula? Yeah, if you don't see it, then you do need to be here. You need to be here and experience all that is Mrs. Paula Does Retirement. Y'all, she is just precious. She is so precious to me. And y'all, Mrs. Paula has taken me along. I've just been along for the ride with Mrs. Paula as we venture off into other 50 and beyond panels, 40 and beyond panels with Karen from Switzerland. Yeah, Mrs. Paula has gathered me and said, Kenny K, let's get out in these streets on a Friday night or two. And I've been twisting and turning. Yeah, Mrs. Paula, she's got a few years on me, but baby, this lady gets around. She is around and about in her retirement. And I did along for the ride. I said, well, if Mrs. Paula is going, I'm going with her. And so, y'all, I have just we've been in these YouTube streets on Friday nights. Y'all catch us when you can, because wow, did you do, I know I've caught you for the last few weekends. And let me tell you how I met you, Mrs. Paula. You may not even know this story, Mrs. Paula. It was Fire with Dr. Ninja Turtle.
I remember.
Who introduced me to you, Mrs. Paula, in he does Finance Fridays on every Friday morning at 11:15 Eastern Time. And I said, who is this person, Mrs. Paula? Because you were tearing up that chat. And I love that. And so I said, what I did was I always screenshot.
Oh.
So because y'all, I can't remember, it's the little details. And so when I know I see new names in the chat that I want to connect with, I just screenshot it. And I said, I've got to get over here and see Mrs. Paula. And when you were live, when I looked you up, you were live.
Oh.
Pro tip there. And I popped in there and I couldn't believe it because you had, y'all, she had a lot of folks in that chat. I mean, a lot of people. Mrs. Paula, you have lots of people in your chat. Talk to us a little bit about how do you maintain all those friends and family and everybody? You are a lot of folks, granny and grandma and YouTube mom, auntie. How do you do that, Mrs. Paula?
Well, I apparently have a granny aura about me, or a mommy aura about me. Our girl Cooking Beauty that we have in common, I am her YouTube mommy. And I have a YouTube digital son named Ed Haney. He went to visit his grandmother a couple of weeks ago, and he's invited me and Sally D's Reality to go with him next time. So he's my digital son. Never met him, but he's my son. And then Jagar in the chat is my digital grandson. So I just go along adopting people, just like in real life, actually. We've been going to the same church for decades, and we've noticed that we keep adopting people. Like we adopted a couple of little boys, 3 of them actually, who came on the church van. And when kids come on the church van with no parents, they need a little help behaving in church.
Amen.
And one of those 3 boys ended up moving in with us when he was 18 and staying for 8 months. So he could get his driver's license and just go on about his life. So we just have, me and my sweetheart, we just sort of have a habit or an aura about us. I don't know. We just kind of adopt people, and that has segued into my YouTube channel. We just adopt people on YouTube as well. And I consider it a blessing.
Mrs. Paula, it all makes sense. Like Simply Debbie Sue says, we love Mrs. Paula.
Oh.
Yes. It your aura just bursts out through the screen. It just does. It just does. You just make everything so nice. And y'all, she has a whole YouTube tribe, YouTube community, YouTube children, grandchildren, generations at this point, because they love her. Y'all, she has over 1,000. How long, Mrs. Paula? Y'all see, I'm super excited. Let me finish one question at a time. Mrs. Paula, how long have you been on YouTube?
I started my YouTube channel, let me think, 2 weeks before I retired, and I retired this past December. So what is that, about 8 months ago? 8 months ago, I retired. And I was nervous that if I waited till I retired to start my channel, I would never get around to it. So I forced myself, start it before you retire. Have it done. Have a couple of videos up so you're ready to go. So since December, and I did what you're not supposed to do because I didn't know any better. All the experts say, don't tell your family, don't tell your friends, don't post it on your Facebook. But I didn't know any of that. So the first thing I did was tell all my family, all my friends, and post it on Facebook because I wanted some subscribers. Yeah. I wanted to see that subscriber count go up because to me, that's a lot of fun. I remember when I had 4, and I remember when I had 25, and I never really thought I'd get to 1,000. And when I did, this was my face. Yeah, it's very exciting.
Mrs. Paula, you're in there. You're in there, dear, and nobody can take away from Mrs. Paula being Mrs. Paula. Friend, just be you in these YouTube streets.
Yes.
December and you already have over 1,000 subscribers, hashtag and beyond, because that number continues to grow. And Mrs. Paula, I dare say it's because you, as Mrs. Paula, being Mrs. Paula, and then sometimes, friends, I don't know if you've met Hilda Joy.
That's right.
Tell the friends more about Hilda Joy.
Should I do Hilda Joy in her very southern accent, or should I just do Mrs. Paula?
I have no control over Hilda Joy.
Well, usually when I talk about Hilda Joy, she takes over completely and she talks real southern. Some people say they can't tell the difference between Mrs. Paula and Hilda Joy, but I reject that.
I do too.
Yeah, I reject that. So I probably will be Mrs. Paula for a minute. I just had Hilda Joy come to my mind one day. I enjoy making shorts. And when I first started YouTube, I knew nothing about SEO. I had to look it up to see what it was. I knew nothing about hashtags. To me, that meant the pound sign. You know, the hashtag is a pound sign. I knew nothing about anything related to YouTube. And so I started watching all the whoop-de-doo, as Hilda Joy says, the big whoop-de-doo content creators. And they were talking about all those things. And Hilda Joy decided she wanted to poke a little fun at them. And so that's how Hilda Joy was born. And I wanted a real Southern sounding name. And to me, Hilda Joy is about as Southern as you can get.
Agree. Ditto.
Yeah.
Ditto.
Yeah.
Ditto.
So she likes to poke fun at the big whoopie-doo YouTube creators, the content creators, and she likes to do collaborations with her friends. Would you like to hear about her collaborations with her friends?
Absolutely, dear.
Okay. Well, I had to write her channel name down because I have two friends with very similar channel names.
Okay.
Hilda Joy, her bestie is Mitzi. And Mitzi is Allison's alter ego. Allison at Living Life After 55. We bonded on YouTube right away. I don't even remember how we met each other. You know, that's how it is. You just make connections. And she sent me a message one day and said, does Hilda Joy need a best friend? And I'm like, yes. And so she created Mitzi. And now Hilda Joy and Mitzi are planning a trip to Graceland together. So that's our first collaboration. And then another bestie that's in the chat, Heartily Happy. Do you know Mrs. G at Heartily Happy?
I met Heartily Happy. I got connected to Heartily Happy from Mrs. Paula Does Retirement. Yes, the Miss Heartily Happy is one of my favorite new channel. If you want to know who Kendi K all day watches, one of those channels is Heartily Happy.
Yes, I love Mrs. G Heartily Happy. And I can't even remember how we met either. I just discovered her channel and right away I just thought, this is a nice, nice lady. Something about her just draws you in. And she's a lovely, lovely person. And she has an alter ego named Mal May. And you would have to look up some of her shorts to see Mal May. But Mal May and Hilda Joy are planning a collaboration too. It's not come to fruition yet, but I predict maybe next week or the week after, Hilda Joy and Mal May are going to be hitting the YouTube streets together.
Love that. And I love that Tennessee Cup. You all know that I lived in Tennessee for over 20 years. I say that I grew up. I grew up as an adult in Tennessee because I moved from the Midwest just after undergrad and lived for over 20 years in West Tennessee. And then I moved across the state to East Tennessee, spent 5 years there. Two totally different ways of life, because if you know anything about Tennessee, it's a long state from left to right. It's a long state. And so two different lifestyles, and loved both of them. Love the mountains of East Tennessee, and except for when you have to drive through them to get to East Tennessee. Yes, that part. But I love nothing like those that Go Big Orange and Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. Love
Absolutely.
it. So I love your Tennessee mug. Shout out to Tennessee and all those folks from the South. Because again, I'm not from the South, but y'all, if you've lived here over 20 years, then you just do. Y'all know I work off the West Coast, and so I'm back and forth. But at this moment, we are sitting in Tennessee. And so I'm just glad to be here. So you never know. Keep checking in with Kendi K all day. Do y'all see this personality called Mrs. Paula Does Retirement? She is just a joy. She is just a joy. Ooh, heartily happy says, and that Tennessee whiskey. Shout out to the Uncle Nearest brand, because you know I'm all about small local business. So a rising star in the whiskey business is the Uncle Nearest brand. Check them out, y'all. Check them out. And because they just have a great, rich history. And have you ever been to the Uncle Nearest Museum and Distillery?
I never have.
Apparently, it's one of the must-sees now of Tennessee. Have you ever been to Dollywood?
Of course, I've been to Dollywood. I don't think you can live in Tennessee without going to Dollywood. I think it's probably a sin. Hilda Joy would say it's a sin if you haven't been to Dollywood. So, yes, I've been there several times. And the last time I went, I was with a busload of sixth graders. So that was quite an adventure.
I recommend everyone go to Dollywood. Friends, I have never been to Dollywood. So I think I've committed a sin.
You have sinned. There's still hope for you. You know about Dollywood.
Yeah, Dollywood is a must-see, y'all. Dollywood is a must-see. And the Smoky Mountains, I know I love the Smoky Mountains. There's so much to see in Tennessee. You mentioned in West Tennessee, you mentioned Graceland. So if you're visiting West Tennessee, must-see is Graceland. That's where Elvis Presley purchased his big mansion. And y'all, it is now just more than a block, including a luxury hotel. His plane, his private jet is there. So many attractions at Graceland. And I love our connection to Tennessee. And I think that's one of the reasons why I connect with you so well. But it's this big energy. It's this big energy. Big hair, love it. Big, beautiful smile. Love, 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 love. Let's talk about some things from the chat. Let's get some of our friends from the chat. There is Evie. Well, Sally, we're spread thin trying to keep up and support our friends. But we still make time for the special ones. Folks are saying hello to Mitzi, Hilda Joy, and all those friends who are planning to be in these YouTube streets and trying to get to Graceland. What a great series. What great collaborations. I can't wait for the shenanigans. Kendi K loves some shenanigans, and I can already feel it. I can feel the shenanigans that are about to go forth. Heartily happy, he says, big energy. Claire, the missing link, said, yes, Dollywood is a fun. 10 out of 10. I'm going to highly recommend Dollywood because I've recommended it to so many friends. Y'all, go to Dollywood. Y'all, because you just have to, even as an adult. Do you know, Paula, I went back to Disney World because, of course, our parents took us to Disney World as children. You got to go to Disney World or Disneyland. But we went to Disney World as children, and I had not been back since I was a child. At 48 years old, I spent my 48th birthday at Disney World.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes. And if you went as a child, go back as an adult of any age. Just go. Y'all, it was the trip of a lifetime. Went with my little sis. Shout out to my little sis. I love it, love it, love it. And y'all, I'm gonna have to pull some of those video clips together and do a little montage because you know Kendi K is approaching the 50 in October. Can't wait for it. But this is all about Mrs. Paula Does Retirement.
I like to say, Kendi K, I think Dollywood is like the Disney World of the South.
Yes, agreed.
Yes. There's no Mickey Mouse or Minnie Mouse, but there's Dolly, and it is like the Disney World of the South. Absolutely.
Yes. The friends are still talking about these trips in these YouTube streets. Sally, I love that. I have to throw this one up from Sally. She says 50. Lady, you look awesome. Thank you, friend. Thank you, Sally.
You
Connecting
too.
from Mrs. Paula Does Retirement. Folks speaking to each other. Look at these communities cross-pollinating. It's Lala, the high vibe coach. Welcome in, Lala. Welcome in, friends. Y'all, I'm going through. Y'all see. I'm fanning out. We've got the one, the only Mrs. Paula Does Retirement is in the building. Y'all, she's here with us for coffee and a conversation. She's sipping on some hot tea with lemon and sugar.
Yes.
I have killed my 1 cup of coffee for the week. Killed it. And now I'm backing up with water. Hydrating water to just stay hydrated for the weekend. Y'all, Kendi Case, mommy is with us. And you said you have some electrolytes in your mason jar and sipping on some water in the mason. Love that mason jar. It just reminds y'all of just simpler times, because aren't we just in a very high tech, y'all, there's a lot going on in our world. We all know it. We're not going to speak on it further than that. But y'all, watch and pray. That's what I would say. Watch and pray and make preparation.
We're in a complicated time, and it is peaceful to sit on the back porch with a beautiful friend, sipping out of my Tennessee mug and my fancy glassware. It is a callback to simpler times, and it is peaceful and it is fun.
And y'all, lean into that, friends. Lean into that, because when you sometimes when we start to think about so much going on, we just need to clear our brains, and we just need to get in your chair and rock a little bit and just look at the grass. Just, we are still here for a reason.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
we just gonna move on. Pray is what I would tell you.
Watch and pray, like you said.
Watch and pray. Watch and pray. Watch and pray. Jagar says, hi, Granny.
Oh, Jagar, my little digital grandson. Love you, Jagar. He's actually not little. I think he's I'm not sure how old Jagar is. He's probably 17 or 18 or maybe even 20. So he's not little. But to me, he's little. Because, I'm, like you say, the woman of a certain age plus 10. So, yeah. Jagar's my
y'all put that in the chat for us. Hashtag a plus 10. I love that for us. I love that for you, Mrs. Paula. Gemini Diva 79. Thank you for the super sticker, sister friend. Thank you, Gemini Diva 79. Member of Kendi K's crew and mod for the gods, Gemini Diva. I am new as a monetized content creator. And y'all, at this moment, I think we are just a little bit over a week fully monetized. Mrs. Paula, we are now fully monetized on Kendi K all day. But Mrs. Paula, thank you so much, friend. But Mrs. Paula, do you realize with over 1,000 subscribers that you already have, you are halfway to full monetization? Do you realize that?
You tell it to me, and I guess I am in my mind, but I don't really feel it. And I guess I don't feel it because I enjoy doing a lot of shorts. Okay. Monetization would be awesome. And it would be awesome to get there someday. And I'll tell you what I plan to do with my funds if I ever, you're going to say when I get to monetization. So I better switch that to when I get to monetization. But I like to do shorts. I came to YouTube first for the community. I knew after I left my school job, I would need a new community. And I came to YouTube for the community, and it has given me friends, oh my goodness, that I'm so thankful for, many of whom are right here in the chat.
They are in this chat.
Thank you. I love you all. And for the fun. And I like to have fun, and shorts are fun. And shorts and monetization do not go very well together. Yeah. But that's okay with me. It's not something I'm like, chasing down the YouTube streets. When it comes, if it comes, that'll be awesome. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do with it. But I'm still here for the community, the fun, and the friends first. Does that make sense?
It does, because YouTube and growing a YouTube channel is not an easy task. It
No,
may look easy, but it's a lot of hard work.
it is.
Um, to be honest, just to be frank, as a woman of a particular age, I don't want anyone to say, okay, I'm going to start a YouTube channel, because, and you can do that, but then you're going to quickly see immediately, oh, it looks easy. It might look easy, but it's a lot of hard work to grow that channel. But I would also say, in the very same breath, YouTube is really my playground.
Yes.
At 49, and I started this channel at 48. I started my channel at 48. Think about it. For me to start something brand new that I have never done or tried before, I didn't do any social medias. I had a Facebook over 20 years ago, and I hadn't used it in about 17 years.
Wow.
Because I just didn't do social media. And I stopped doing it because, it started all these different little things, and do this and do this. And then I couldn't remember the password. Y'all, it's hard enough for me to remember the passwords I have to remember, So I was just like, okay. So I just said, okay, I'm done with that. I'm done with that. But so when I made a decision that I want to try, because during the pandemic, I started watching and YouTube, and then I started watching less and less of TV.
Yes.
And started watching more and more of my favorite content creators on YouTube. So I said, I want to try it. Had no idea that it was so difficult. But so it is a lot of hard work. But YouTube is, just like you say, Paula, it really seriously is my playground. I love it. I love to see folks doing what they're doing right now. And I think I do love that interaction. I love that interaction where you can connect with y'all. When I say I was watching YouTube during the pandemic, it wasn't until like the end of the pandemic, when we were still locked down, that I figured out, okay, how am I able to get in the chat? Because I was just watching, and I would talk to them, in my living room in the den. I would talk to the TV and laugh, but I wanted to, type in the chat. Y'all had to figure that. I had to figure that out at 48. Y'all, when I tell you that I am learning in real time, is something new every day. So it is. It's a labor of love, but it's also my playground. I'm enjoying the ride and enjoying trying to learn something new as a woman of a particular age. And y'all, it's fun. It really is a fun, because if it wasn't fun, I wouldn't be doing it. I would not.
Exactly. If it wasn't fun, I would have stopped after 2 months probably. And I can relate to you so much when you talk about learning new things at 48. The only technology I was familiar with was the technology we used in my school system. That school technology is way, way different from other kinds of technology. And I was afraid to start my channel at first, Candy K, because I was afraid I wouldn't be able to edit a video. I didn't even know how to post a video on YouTube. I didn't know how to do anything. So at 60 years old, I need
to I'm putting my own hashtag 60 and beyond.
Yes. At 60 years old, I had to learn new things. And I texted a friend who's about 20 years younger than me, and she's very tech savvy. And this was about in October, I think, before I started my channel in December. And I said, I want to start a YouTube channel, but I don't know how to do anything. If I pay you, will you help me? And she said, you don't have to pay me. I will help you. But I never had to call on her. I could have. I just learned a little bit every day. And then the next day I would forget it. And I would have to learn it again, because a woman of a certain age plus 10, it's hard to keep it all in there. I can retain water, but I can't retain information.
Do y'all see what I'm talking about?
Yeah. So, but anybody can learn. There's a whole bunch of stuff I don't know. I whine and complain to some of the friends on this chat. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. But you can learn it. You can ask a friend to help you. And I just want to segue into saying, if you don't know technology and you're 60, don't let that stop you from starting a channel, friends, especially ladies. Start your channel, learn as you go, and have fun. please join us on the YouTube streets. As Hilda Joy says, in the YouTube universe. It's wonderful. And we can just learn together.
Yes. And thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being so transparent about that, because that is real. The digital divide is real, and it's not just an access issue, it's a age issue. There's an
It
age
is.
gap, because
Yeah.
you think about it, when I was born, in the good year that is a 75, when I was born, yeah, I my mama had me, y'all. My mama is here visiting me too. My mama had me in a hospital, in whatever. I don't think they probably had me in an operating room, because, but now, they birth the babies in
Mhm.
birthing rooms that they
Yes,
try
they
to
do.
make it resemble home, kind of that home feel, etc. But when you think about the children of these generations now,
Yes.
these children, think about all the technology that is surrounding them when they are born into this world.
Yes.
These
Yes.
children go to school with technology. Y'all know that there are fewer and fewer books in America's classrooms.
Oh, yes.
The
Very few
books, y'all,
books.
are in tablets and devices.
Yes. Even in kindergarten, tablets and devices, even in kindergarten. You see
Wow.
very few books in the school system nowadays. And I know that that's necessary because we have to keep up with what's the right word? The learning curve, I guess.
Yeah,
But
global society. We're a
yeah, the
global
global
society now,
society.
not
Yeah.
just an American. We're global now.
Yeah. I miss the presence of books in public education.
Yeah, we some things now we don't need to be doing. Some things
Yes.
the best way is a book
Yes.
in the hands. That's
Yes.
just it. But we're not gonna go there. But friends, because, and I like what you just said, Mrs. Paula, of that learning new things and learning and trying to learn this technology, and then you forget it the next day. Yo,
Yes.
me and my mom, she's here visiting with me. My mom is 77 years of zeal, and we were working with her laptop. My siblings and I purchased a laptop for her because she is able to watch me on TV, but she's not been in that chat because difficult. That's another thing to learn. But y'all, she has her little typing tutor, and then she's learning how to type at 77, and I'm so proud of her. Shout out to Kitty K's mommy. Love that. But I want you all to hear these things, and I'm glad we're talking about them, because as women of a particular age, it is okay to learn something new. And these are
Yes.
things that the society and technology is growing, and we've got to adapt with it so that we can stay in it with these young people, because surrounding yourself with younger people will in fact keep you younger,
Yes,
right?
it will. I can attest to that. Yes.
Go ahead,
Absolutely.
Mrs. Paula.
And Candy K, about mothers, your mother is obviously a lifelong learner. I love the phrase and the concept behind lifelong learner. I lost my mother several years ago, but she too was a lifelong learner. At the age of 60, she went back and got her GED and was a high school graduate, because in her day, you got married young and started your family young, and finishing high school was not common. So
Yeah.
my mother finished high school at 60. She went to take art classes and she became an artist, and she painted each of her children a beautiful, beautiful painting. And mine was an Indian maiden. And it hangs in my YouTube studio now. So I
I've
love,
seen that in your
yes,
studio. Oh,
I love the fact that we have that in common as well. Our mothers are and were lifelong learners, and that is a wonderful thing to be.
yes.
Yes.
Entreaty by Rhonda Hensley says, I am learning new technology at 71. Y'all,
Yes.
check out Entreaty by Rhonda Hensley. That sounds like a channel name to me. So check out that channel, check her out. And I love that you are challenging yourself to learn technology at 71. New friends continue to gather from both of our channels. Welcome, Blessed to Crochet, who joined me for Coffee and Conversations. Has that been 2 weeks ago now? So
I
that
saw that.
interview is still available. What a great interview. What a great story between Mary and her mom.
Yes.
They have that channel, Blessed to Crochet. Y'all check them out if you're interested. Gemini Diva says, you're right. Bookstores are becoming fewer and fewer. And yes, that saddens me because I'm an avid reader. Welcome in, Yolanda B. Welcome in, friend. Let me just put as many of our friends in our communities up on the screen because we want you all to cross a pollinate. Y'all, if you're interested in being interviewed for Coffee and Conversations, please check my channel and you'll be able to see my email address there. Just reach out to me by email or on Instagram. I am on Instagram under the same name, all one word, Kendi K, all day. You are a great cheerleader. Can you imagine somebody thinks that we are cheerleaders, Paula? Can you imagine that? I know that's right. I'll be the cheerleader. Yes.
We need a pom-pom.
Mrs. Paula.
Yes.
We got to get ourselves some pom-poms.
We got to get we got to get 2 pom-poms.
Pom-poms. Yeah. We got to get pom-poms.
We got to do that. Yeah. I want a pom-pom.
Thank you for the idea. Love it. Okay, so how did you come up with the name Mrs. Paula? How did you come up with the name? Because it's a great name. It's a great name. How did you come up with it?
Let me tell you what my first 2 name choices were, and then if I forget the question you asked me, you remind me of the question in about 1 minute. Yeah. Okay. Because I wrote that down as something I wanted to talk about. I wanted to start a YouTube channel, and I'd been thinking about it for about a year before I actually started it. But I had the fear that, like I told you about, the fear of technology, the fear of basically technology, and just not knowing anything about it. But I thought, I want to have a channel, and I want the title of my channel to be Unencumbered. I want to talk about a woman who is trying to become unencumbered by debt, by old baggage, by fears. Unencumbered. I even made a video talking about becoming unencumbered. I still think that's a great idea, but it's a little too deep for me at this point. And then I thought, no, I don't want to title my channel Unencumbered. I want to title my channel Dishwashing Diaries. And while I'm washing dishes at my kitchen sink, obviously, I'll talk about becoming a woman who's unencumbered. And then I thought, no, neither of those things fit me. And then I thought, you know what? I've been Mrs. Paula for 21 years. I'm Mrs. Paula, the school counselor. Hey, Mrs. Paula, I would hear that at the grocery stores. I still do. Doctor's offices, church, anywhere I go. Hey, Mrs. Paula. And I thought, I don't want to give that up. So I decided to stay with my school counselor name, Mrs. Paula. Mrs. Paula Does Retirement. That's how I finally arrived at my channel name.
I think it's perfect for you because you're doing retirement is something new that you're doing.
Yes.
And it's doing all of those things, right?
Yes.
It's finding out how you do this thing called retirement. And to me, I'm so glad you did not choose unencumbered because that's kind of a big word.
It is.
And most friends would know what that means. And then you're sounding too technical. But doing this thing called retirement, and I dare say this, Mrs. Paula, you are in fact doing and slaying retirement. Yes, you are.
I am. Yes, I am. I do still keep Dishwashing Diaries as one of my segments. They're hardly ever planned. My Sunday lives are planned. Okay. I know I always want to go live on Sunday, and I enjoy that. But the Dishwashing Diaries, one of my friends on the chat, Sally D's Reality, she texted me yesterday, or actually she commented on my Dishwashing Diaries video yesterday. Why don't you let us know ahead of time so we can show up to support you? Because I missed this video. And I'm like, I just went in the kitchen and saw that I had a pile of dirty dishes and I needed to wash them. So I can't let you know ahead of time, although I appreciate your support. So Dishwashing Diaries, I do that and I enjoy that, but I don't talk about being unencumbered. I just usually chat about the day or whatever. I might still do some unencumbered stuff, but not right now. Right now, I'm just wanting to have fun and enjoy retirement, and I might do some of the deeper stuff later on. Yeah.
Yes, I love to see you on the back porch. That's y'all. I've already told you that's my favorite place because it just takes my mind back to something simpler. It takes me back to both of my grannies, and God rest their souls. And I just love to see you on that back porch. I just do because I want to be on that back porch because that is something that I want to do at my home is really build out that back porch and
Yes.
make it into a full sun porch and all of that good stuff. Hashtag goals for me. So I until then, I'm just going to live vicariously through you and your beautiful. I was immediately, I said, oh my goodness, I love that sun porch. And I love it when you're sitting on the other side and we can see all that green grass back there.
Yes. I wanted to sit on the other side, but the sun was coming in and making my face too dark. But it
Yes,
is beautiful. Right over that way. It's gorgeous.
it's gorgeous. So y'all come back because the views that she can show us from that sun porch, love, 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 love. But more than anything, we just love Mrs. Paula, and we love the energy that she brings to these YouTube streets. Y'all, Mrs. Paula is my friend. She is my friend in my head, and she is taking me along in these YouTube streets. We've been visiting folks. Y'all, we've been out here in these streets on Friday nights, me and Mrs. Paula and Evie and Karen and so many other friends. I shouldn't start saying names because y'all can't remember all of these channel names, but y'all forgive me, but they are in the chat. Ryan Clifton is in the building. Ryan Clifton is in the building. That's some of Candy K's phrasings, but y'all, everybody uses them, but you got to just make things your own. But no one can be Mrs. Paula but Mrs. Paula. We are so super excited to have you here, to have both of our communities cross-pollinating. Let me just give a shout out to all those who are in the chat at this moment. A thank you from Mrs. Paula and myself. And if you're catching this on replay from Mrs. Paula's channel or on my channel, it doesn't matter. Just watch on the replay. If you do happen to catch this interview on the replay, please drop in the comment and let us know that you came by. Yes, yes, and yes. Mrs. Paula, so you've talked about the dishwashing diaries, which I love. Told you I love the back porch, but there's something about washing dishes because, and this is how I know. Mrs. Paula, you are going to be my friend. If you don't want to be my friend, you still going to be my friend because once you said that you don't hardly use your dishwasher, I don't either. I was all in. And y'all, why I'm telling you why I don't use my dishwasher often. I have to make myself use the dishwasher because I wasn't raised with a dishwasher. My mama said she had 4 children. Well, first of all, we didn't even have a dishwasher. We didn't get a dishwasher until I went to college.
Yeah.
That I can remember now. We might have had it a few years while I was, in high school. As I was finishing high school. My mama said, I got a dishwasher. It's called 4 children. And we all had a day when we had to wash those dishes. And
I love it.
both my mommy and daddy worked full time. They had 4 kids, y'all. So they both worked full time. And if we wanted dinner, then we would get home from school and we better have those dishes washed. Whatever we use for breakfast, those dishes had to be washed. And we had to have our mama a clean kitchen so that she would cook dinner. My mom is over there cracking up laughing because she knows it's the truth, but I don't blame her. When she came in from working a full day's work and she was still going to cook for her husband and her children, this kitchen better be clean. And we did it. That was our part of the deal. And so, y'all, I have to make myself use the dishwasher. And so once you said something similar and you say you just love to just go on and wash your own dishes, while I'm waiting on that dishwasher to run, I can just wash these dishes myself and talk. I love it. I said, Mrs. Paula is my friend.
It's a great opportunity to connect with other friends on YouTube, other content creators, get your dishes done. Look out my beautiful kitchen window. I need to clean the window. It's a little bit spider eggy right now. It is just a wonderful opportunity. One of my friends said it was Grace. If you know Grace and you're in the chat, put Grace's name in the chat. Empowered Inspiration. I think it was Tracy. Sorry, 60. It was Tracy at the Wild West said I was killing 2 scones. What was it? killing two birds with one scone. And I never did ask her if she meant to say stone. I figured scone because I was in
Scone
the
is like a
kitchen.
little biscuit thing, isn't
Like
it?
a little biscuit, yeah. I figured she said scone because I was in the kitchen. But anyway, I loved that. So yeah, it's fun. And I walk through the house and I avoid washing my dishes because I'd rather be on YouTube and play video games with my husband or whatever. But then I'm like, okay, you got to wash the dishes. And unless my husband is in the house watching old episodes of Bonanza with it turned up loud, or old UT football games with it turned up loud, or old NASCAR races with it turned up loud, unless he's doing any of those things, I'm going to be live while I'm washing my dishes, Candy K.
I love it. First of all, Bonanza,
Yeah.
Bonanza, and Gunsmoke, and Andy Griffith. Griffith. When I was helping my mama get into bed, and my mama is visiting with me, y'all. She said, "Now where's the remote?" I said, "Okay, it's right over here. What do you want to watch?" Gunsmoke. And y'all hearing Gunsmoke and Andy Griffith play all night long, because she leaves the TV on all night long. And only my mommy can do that. Why?
Yes.
Because she's a woman of a particular age and she has earned the right
Yes, she
to
has.
do whatever she wants. And so yes, Gunsmoke plays all night. And I love hearing that, because I know my mommy is here with me, and I'm just so grateful that she is with me in this space. And I ain't letting her go back home. She don't know that yet, but I ain't letting her go back home. She is cracking up because she's like, huh.
You keep her there as long as you can, and you let her turn that Gunsmoke up as loud as she wants to.
Mama, you can blast the Gunsmoke. You can blast. We can play Gunsmoke on one TV. We can play Andy Griffith on another TV. What else do you like to watch, Mommy?
That's about it. I don't do soap opera.
She even likes Matlock. She likes was Matlock the one with the mysteries, or he's solving the crimes? That was Matlock, right?
He was an attorney.
Yes. She likes those too. See, Matlock was like the current one. But Gunsmoke, Rifleman.
Yes.
Yes, all of those. So to
stuff.
say your husband watches those and turns them up loud. Yes. Yeah. See, this is why Mrs. Paula is my friend.
That's
Paula
right.
my friend. I love that. And somebody said something. They said, "Well, Mrs. Paula is my friend, but I guess I'll share her."
Oh, how sweet! Thank you.
That was heartily happy. She said, "Mrs. Paula is my friend, but I don't mind sharing her." Everybody loves you, Mrs. Paula. Blessed to crochet. I'm sorry, is still chiming in. Love it. Welcome in, Monique Poe. Monique Poe has been here, y'all. I am just super behind in the chat. Mop for the Gods and member of Kendi K's crew. Love that. Now, folks are chiming in that they love that Gunsmoke too, Mommy. They love Gunsmoke too.
Absolutely. Let me tell you about Heartily Happy and Mrs. G.
Okay.
I have adopted her whole family. One time, let's see. I can't remember if it was her first live or one of her videos. But anyway, she has two sons. Mrs. G, forgive me if I'm leaving out somebody. But she has two sons. And she had her son, I'm going to say his name. I hope it's okay. Lil J. We call him Lil J. He's the cutest thing you've ever seen. I love him. And I said, who's that handsome child? And I'm now his Aunt Paula. So whenever he comes on lives with her, I'm like, hey, Lil J, it's your favorite Auntie Paula. And then her niece, Nita Mae, who has her own channel name, Mrs. G, is it Honey Dipped, I think? I don't think Honey Dipped makes content, but she has a channel. I've adopted her whole family. And when she does a live, she often does it with Little J and Nita Mae. And I'm on there saying, hey, it's your favorite Auntie Paula. They probably think I'm crazy, but they put up with me because their mama loves me. Their mama and their auntie loves me.
I love that. Welcome in, Heatherly. Heatherly says that she's loving this. Y'all, I've been looking forward to this all week. Been telling my mom all about you. Mrs. Paula does retirement.
Thank you. I'm honored.
I showed her your thumbnail. I said, Mom, this is her. She lives over towards East Tennessee and North Tennessee, right?
Yeah, Northeast Tennessee.
Right? Yeah, love that, love that, love that. Y'all, this is just us being us in these YouTube streets, making our way as women of a particular age. Y'all, we don't know it all. We are learning in real time, but
Yes.
this is our playground. We are loving, enjoying learning more about technology, how to use technology in this global society
Yes.
called the internet, called chat gpt, called, you know, all of the things that it's called and that it does. And this is supercomputing at its best. It allows us to interface in this space using the power of StreamYard. Y'all know I love StreamYard. Y'all, if you're interested in growing and connecting your channel and starting a YouTube channel, first thing I would highly recommend, because Mrs. Paula has helped me to co-host episodes of Shop Talk. Shop Talk is just a virtual content creator maker space, and I tape 3 episodes a week normally. But y'all, Candy K's mommy is visiting us, so you know everything kind of changes and shifts gears to accommodate Kendi K's a mommy, because she deserves all of that. And
Yes,
so,
she does.
y'all, if you have missed us for Shop Talk this week, we'll be back on track. But just give us a moment, because I'm trying to adjust for mommy staying here permanently. Y'all, she is cracking up every time I say it. She's like, girl, please. Anyway, no, but yeah, we'll be back on schedule with 3 episodes a week. Look for the thumbnails. And I'm like you, sometime, Mrs. Paula. Like Mrs. Paula, I love that you have that routine of making sure that you do a Sunday live stream, because that's just what you like to do. So then your community can count on you for that. So check out Mrs. Paula on Sunday. About what time should they expect to see you on Sundays?
Well, I'm going to say 6 o'clock. I'm not real good at being consistent with the time. I was doing it at 3 o'clock, but that didn't work out because it's too hot out here on the sun porch. But now that fall is almost here, 3 o'clock might work. I'm going to say 6 o'clock, but I might change it because a woman of a certain age plus 10 can do that sometimes. But yeah, and I'll always do a thumbnail. Sometimes it's just the morning before or the morning of or the night before. But I'm planning for 6 o'clock Eastern time on Sundays. That's my go-to time.
Okay. And I'm like you, Mrs. Paula. I try to just give you the day of the week when you
Yes.
can expect to see me, because, you know, I still work full time. And so it just kind of depends on the week, depends on how I'm feeling. And sometimes I have the best intentions, y'all. But if my energy is not up, if this old body says tired, and sometimes the body just says, Kenny K, you got rest.
Yes.
Rest, rest,
Yes.
rest. And then
Yes.
my allergies have been kicked up a little bit. So
Oh,
yeah, so expect to see Paula on Sundays. Look out for her, check for her live streams, and check for mine as well. I normally do a Sunday morning shop talk. Okay. And I call it a sunrise edition of Shop Talk. And y'all, if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, or if you are a new or small content creator of any size, and I say small content creator not to put you down, but YouTube considers anyone who has less than 10,000 subscribers a small creator. And
that's
y'all,
right.
there are new programs and there are new suggestions for what they call small content creators. So in fact, Mrs. Paula is a small content creator,
Mhm.
as I am also a small content creator. And now a fully monetized content creator. And that's what we do in Shop Talk, is we just talk shop. I am sharing the things, and Mrs. Paula has shared and co-hosted that stream with me. We're just talking about what we have learned thus far, so that you can be just like Mrs. Paula, who, y'all, it took me over a year to get, greater than a year to get 1,000 subscribers. Mrs. Paula has done that in about 6+ months. So you're doing big things in these YouTube streets. You will be fully monetized in no time, because you've got big hair and big personality to go with it. And I love it so much. Y'all, Mrs. Paula is doing pro things over there. I love that everything that you're doing, you're trying to capture a lot of those things. I love the dishwashing diaries. And then you had a little mini series where you were creating your studio space in your home.
Yes.
That transformation, Mrs. Paula, was amazing.
Thank you.
And what you did with that space, and then how you involved your community with the suggestions, and you used as many of their suggestions as you could, and it just got better and better and better. Yeah, I could. Y'all would be probably mortified if you saw my home office, because I work full time at home, and y'all, I unless you're a channel member, unless you're a member of Kendi K's crew, you have never seen the foolishness going on in my office space at this moment, because y'all, it's a lot going. My mom said, "What is this?" I said, "That's why I keep the door closed. You know how we do when company comes, and we just pull the door to. We just pull the door closed and don't go in there. You have no business opening closed doors when you're visiting folks' houses. You don't have any business doing that. Y'all know better than that. Y'all, but my mama's gonna do that. When they see a closed door, they're gonna open that door. So yes. But I love your new studio. I love the accents, and now we know that picture, which is so striking, was painted by your mom. That I
It
love
was.
that.
It was. It's one of my most favorite possessions, and the quilt that covers the ugly filing cabinet. That was actually a suggestion by Evie. Evie, who's in the chat, she sent me a text. We had exchanged phone numbers, and I saw a comment on the video about the space. I'm calling you. Actually, she called me. She didn't send me a text, and she suggested that I use quilt or Afghan or something homey to cover that filing cabinet. And right away, I thought, I've got a closet full of quilts that my mother made. I even have one that my grandmother made.
Oh, wow.
And so I got out a small one and used that. The mirror that's in that space, my parents bought for me when I was a teenager. The bookshelf, it doesn't really show in the studio, but the bookshelf my grandfather made for me when I was about 5 years old. It's just a room full of special things that have a lot of meaning to me.
Love that. My mom is a crafter. My mom is a crafter, and she is in the den. She's crocheting right now. She has a little camera shy. Again, she's a woman of a particular age. When mommy says she's not gonna be on that camera, I don't want to be on that camera. Y'all, Kendi Kaden, do you know, Mrs. Paula, I started my channel as a faceless channel.
I did not know that.
But that was one of the things that kept me, I feel, from growing the channel, because it was when I started showing my face, that's when I started gaining more and more subscribers. So I like it. You mentioned Evie is retired.
Yes.
You mentioned that friend, and she's been in the chat the whole time. And so
Yes,
again, this is what I mean by Mrs. Paula does retirement, and the stronger community that she has rocking with her in these YouTube streets. Love that. Love that. Love that. Love that. Love that. So we've got Lala, the high vibe coach. I'm just trying to make sure everybody gets up here, because I mean, the friends are really, really supporting. Oh, look at there. There's our friend, both Peter Urbanowski, 10 out of 10. I highly recommend Peter Urbanowski's channel. And I also saw another friend here, Life with Tanisha RN. She's our good friend down the road in Alabama. She is from Alabama. And y'all, when you want to know who Kendi K is watching, binge watching, I must say, is Mrs. Paula Does Retirement. And one of the newest channels that I have just come across, the algorithm is working, and probably because our connections to the South, with Tanisha being in Alabama. Life with Tanisha RN, who does all of these beautiful journaling and pages, and she's real crafty herself. I love that. As an RN as well, by day and by night. I have a closed door, and that door better stay closed. Yes, won't we put that stuff in that door, in that room, and shut that door on it? But Mrs. Paula went in hers and did a total transformation, and she now has her own content creator studio in her home, and I love that. Hashtag channel goals for Kendi K, because I want to create a space where I'm able to show and transform. But y'all, that's down the road for me, because Kendi K works full time, and not right now. So right now, I just go in there and keep my camera angle real tight, because this is all I can show. Yeah, because I've got the big Sam's Club packs of toilet paper, paper towel. I don't even have them in the closet anymore. They just plopped right there. They just plopped right there. And y'all, you had to see my mama. She said, "What is going on in this room?" I said, "Why did you open the door, mommy? Why did you open the door?
Yeah.
Keep the door closed." I said, "You know how we close the door." I said, "You taught me." You taught me how to do it. Y'all, we have about 20 minutes remaining in this stream. If you have questions for Mrs. Paula does retirement. She's our special guest this morning for Coffee and Conversations. Go ahead now. I'm a little behind y'all and even asking y'all to continue to ask questions of Mrs. Paula. So send those questions in right now so we can throw them up on the screen and Mrs. Paula will have time to answer them. Don't delay, don't be tardy for this party because y'all, we are at the end of this space. Oh, they said, Mrs. Paula, what are your hobbies outside of the YouTube streets? Thank you, Claire.
Yes, thank you, Claire. I appreciate that. Well, I don't know if you would consider a pet a hobby. He's more like my child, but right here at my feet, I have a big old overweight half pit bull named Rambo, and much of my time is spent petting him. He apparently thinks that that is my job in life, is to pet him and feed him and hold him. And when 65 pounds sits on your lap, it's kind of painful, but he looks at me with that face. And yeah, so I spend a lot of time with my dog Rambo. My hobby, though, technically is YouTube. It is my community. It is my fun, but it is also my hobby. I used to like to read a lot. And I still enjoy reading, Candy K and chat. But since I became a woman of a particular age plus 10, it's hard to keep my mind focused on a book for very long. So let's see, what else? Oh, I like to play iPad games with my sweet husband. We like to play what I call old people games because my kids at school would always say, "What games do you play?" And I would be like, "Well, we play solitaire, we play Yahtzee, we play rummy," and they would say old people games, and I'd be like, "Yeah, that's right, we play old people games." So my dog, my YouTube channel, and playing games with my sweetheart on our iPads, that's what I like to do for hobbies. And that's a very good question. Thank you for asking.
Yes, and questions are flowing in. Y'all keep the questions coming. We'll end. We've got another 17 minutes or so, and we'll just do questions if that's okay with you, Mrs. Paula. We'll just do questions if anyone has questions for Mrs. Paula. And my mom does iPad games on her iPad as well, and she says she likes it because it keeps her brain busy and stuff.
Yes.
She loves that.
I did want to give a type of shout out to our mutual friend that you've already mentioned, Fire at Dr. Ninja Turtle.
Yes.
Should I become monetized at some point, I'm going to take a cue from our good friend Dr. Ninja Turtle. I am learning to live on less in retirement and stop the reckless spending that has been a very bad habit in my life prior to retirement. So if, when, whatever I should reach monetization, Dr. Ninja Turtle, when he reaches monetization, he plans to give his proceeds to the homeless.
Yes.
And if, when, should I reach monetization, I'm going to take a cue from him and give my proceeds to the local animal rescue. There's a woman here, I call her my hometown hero, and she has dedicated and committed her whole life to rescuing animals in distress. And I did just want to put that out there, that's what I plan to do with my proceeds, if, when, whatever I should reach monetization. Because I love, and I have a little tribute here to our friend, Dr. Ninja Turtle.
Love that. You know, Dr. Ninja Turtle, Fire with Dr. Ninja Turtle. I haven't seen Fire. He might be on vacation or something. He might be traveling somewhere.
Could be.
Have you seen him in the chat this morning on your end?
I have not seen him in the chat. I think he just got back from vacation maybe a week or so ago. Okay. But maybe he has a meeting or maybe he's out walking his dog. But I wanted to give him that shout out because he has inspired me in so many ways.
Love that. You, y'all. Fire with Dr. Ninja Turtle is our friend, and that is how I got connected to Mrs. Paula Does Retirement is our good friend in these YouTube streets of Fire with Dr. Ninja Turtle. Check out Fire with Dr. Ninja Turtle on Fridays for Finance Fridays, 11:15 Eastern Time every Friday. Peter
Yes.
Urbanowski, another one of our mutual friends in these YouTube streets, says, what is Paula's favorite memory? Do you have any favorite memories that you can think of?
Wow, that is a tough one because I have so many. Let me think. A favorite memory. A favorite memory.
Well,
I
Tanisha
have
again said, go ahead, go ahead. You got
I
it.
have tons of favorite memories, but I'm going to go with one from about 5 years ago. I am obsessed with The Wizard of Oz. I love the movie. I watch it when I'm sad. I have Wizard of Oz memorabilia, and there is it used to be a theme park fairly close to my area. It was called the Land of Oz, dedicated to that movie. It closed down years ago. But once a year in the fall, they still open that. It's not the same as it was, but it's similar, and it's all about Dorothy and Toto and the Land of Oz. My husband, for my birthday, purchased tickets about 5 years ago to take me to the Land of Oz event in excuse me. I think they open it in September. So one weekend a year in September they open that up. And my favorite memory is one of my favorite memories is that day, especially when you go through Dorothy's house and you open the door and you come out in Oz and you see the yellow brick road. It was as beautiful there as it is in the movie. You know, in
And
the movie,
where is this located?
it is in North Carolina. I'm not sure of the name of the county. But
Wow.
if anyone is interested, look up the Land of Oz in North Carolina. I just can't remember the name of the county because the 60-year-old brain. But
Got it.
it is fabulous. And opening that door and seeing all those bright and beautiful colors and all the characters. And it was such a sweet thing for him to do because he knows how much I love that movie. So that is a fairly recent favorite memory. And thank you, Peter, for that question.
That is a great question. Thank you. And those are great memories. We could see
Yes,
that and hear that in your voice as you were
yes,
talking about that. And what a super sweet husband for
he is.
making that happen for you. Now I'm interested because I saw something as I was binge watching, but yeah, it wasn't a binge watch for me with Mrs. Paula Does Retirement. I'm always watching Mrs. Paula because Mrs. Paula is just she's one of my regular shows. I've got to check on Mrs. Paula. I've got to drop in for a porch talk or dishwashing diaries. I just love those, and because Mrs. Paula does a lot of lives, because as you can see, look, this is why she always has a live stream full of folks young and older, or should I say seasoned folks as well. And I love that for you. Mary's Life Journey, y'all. Check out Mary's Life Journey. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend that channel as well. She says she likes the dog's name, Rambo. It's a nice name because it describes your dog, but he's lovable. He's really lovable.
Oh,
And
PDK, Claire has been to the Land of Oz. Claire the Missing
really,
Link has
Claire?
been.
Wow, Claire. Thank you. I'm glad. See, I didn't even notice that in the chat because questions are flowing in. And so thank you, Claire, the missing link. Claire has been with us this whole live stream. Appreciate that, Claire. Let me shout out my mods, if I may. Gemini Diva 79 and Monique Poe, mods for the gods. Mods is short for moderators. So they're here to boot out. We just want to, they help us to make people disappear if they are cutting up, because we are women of a particular age and ain't nobody got time for that.
We don't put up with sassy people in our lives.
We don't have time for that. They just make those folks disappear in our chat if they're cutting up. They said, oh, see, this is a mod for the god.
Beach
Because
Mountain.
Monique Poe drops in and says that you can Google Land of Oz. I think I have the name right.
Yes.
It is in Beach Mountain,
Yes.
North Carolina.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Monique.
Carolina. Blessed True Crochet, our friend Blessed True Crochet, mutual friend of both of our channels, says, what is your favorite food, Mrs. Paula? What do you like to eat?
I love so many foods, but I think my favorite would be a really well done pizza with pepperoni, mushrooms, and black olives.
Oh, I
Thin
love
crust.
black olives too. You
Oh,
said thick
yes.
or thin?
Thin. Thin
Love
crust.
thin crust. You know, I'm trying to
Yes.
control those carbs. And y'all,
Yes.
I've been craving some. Well, I want it to be thin crust, but I also am going to try the cauliflower crust that's available now because that's even fewer carbs for Candy
Mm.
K. Because y'all know these thighs I call ham hocks are y'all. I'm trying to get them down before I get to 50, and y'all, time is ticking. Time is ticking. But really, I'm just trying to live a healthier lifestyle, 50 and beyond. I'm working with a dietitian at this moment to help me with that. I'm just trying to get all friends up here. Y'all drop questions in the chat as you have them. I'm rolling through really quick. Oh, we've got to take time because we got another super sticker from our good friend Gemini Diva 79. Thank you, friend, for your continued support of this channel. Y'all, Gemini Diva was just a viewer, and it was at my 750 subscriber party that Gemini Diva said, I am going to become a content creator on these YouTube streets, Kendi K, because of you. And she joined us up on panel during my 750
Wow.
subscriber party. So, y'all, Gemini Diva, love her, moderator for the gods. Love you, Gemini Diva, and thank you for the encouragement, friend. Thank you for joining us today, and just very supportive of our channel. Broke but bountifully blessed is a member of Kendi K's crew. Y'all check for the join button. You can join and become a member of Kendi K's crew for just 99 cents. I always forget that stuff, Mrs. Paula, because Mrs. Paula, it was just a week or two ago that I was still on the road to monetization, and Kendi K has, y'all, you can do it too. We can all do it. And Mrs. Paula is halfway to full monetization. So 10 out of 10, Kendi K highly recommends you become a subscriber to Mrs. Paula Does Retirement. Friends are still commenting and chatting through the chat. Welcome in Mary's Life Journey. Ooh, I know that's right. Comfort food is Greek food.
Ooh,
Y'all,
I've never had Greek food.
yeah, I visited Greece, and until you've had Greek food in Greece,
Wow.
yes, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Blessed to crochet. Welcome in, friends. Ooh, Claire says she likes pizza, but she likes that deep dish pizza. Love that, love that,
I
love that.
used to like that, but somewhere along the way, I just switched over to thin crust. I like the thin crispy crust.
I tend to now like that thin, crispy crust too, full of
Ooh,
veggies, and I love black olives on my pizza too.
ooh,
I
yes,
love. See,
yes.
do y'all see what I'm talking about? See, Mrs. Paula Does Retirement and Kendi K all day. It's just like salt and pepper. You gotta have it. You gotta have a little bit of both. You gotta have some spice in your life. I love
Yes,
that. I love that for
absolutely.
us. I love it. I love it. I love it. Friends, y'all keep chatting it up. We have, if you have other, and so broke but bountifully blessed. Carol is asking this. What did you do? What are you retired from? And let me just say mine's real quick. Kitty K still works full time, and that's why you don't hear me talking about my full time job, because I still work professionally and I still need their paycheck
Yes.
every couple of weeks. So I try to keep my YouTube life very separate from that. And that is the reason why, because I still work full time. And so Mrs. Paula, take it away. Share us because we have new friends coming into the stream. And so share
Yes.
that for us.
Okay, Carol, thank you for that question. Well, most recently, I'm retired from being an elementary school counselor, 21 years. I started to say pure bliss. It wasn't pure bliss every single day because, nothing can be pure bliss every single day. But I do still consider it the best job in the universe. Hold on. Allergies. So most recently, elementary school counselor. And then before that, I was what we call locally the WIC lady. If anybody's familiar with WIC, WIC, Women, Infants, and Children's Supplemental Nutrition. My first degree was in nutrition, and I was the WIC lady, and I helped mothers with babies and toddlers and children up to 5 learn more about healthy foods for their children, and also pregnant women and postpartum women. And that was 8 years. And the cool thing about that, because I live in a small community, when I left the job as wick woman, or the wick lady, as people call me, sometimes they might have called me other things I don't want to know about. Uh, I already knew so many of the children in school, and they would say, you know, when children go to the health department, they think everybody's a doctor. They don't know. You're my doctor. You're my doctor. And I'm like, no, I was the lady who talked to you about healthy foods. I'm not your doctor. But so many of the children from WIC, because it goes up to 5 years old, I already knew coming into the school system. And so that was a very cool thing. So those are the jobs I retired from recently. However, my very first job way back in the day, before a lot of people in the chat were born, maybe, Hardee's. I worked at Hardee's. Do you have Hardee's in your community, Candy K, fast food?
Yes, Hardee's
Yes.
on the West Coast and Hardee's in the South. You know, Hardee's used to sell some really good fried chicken. I wonder if they still sell that fried chicken.
I don't think my local Hardee's. I think they got out of fried chicken for some reason, and they also stopped
that
selling
was
their
really good chicken.
Yeah, they also stopped selling their awesome roast beef sandwich, which I took personally and thought it was sad. Yeah, but I was at Hardee's for almost 2 years. That was my very, very first job.
Wow. So there you have it. You have everything that Mrs. Paula does. Retirement, you have it all wrapped up in a nutshell, and now you see the connection to community in the YouTube streets and outside. I love that you were the WIC lady.
Yes.
Yes, because that really supplemental food and nutrition for America's young people and families. I love that. And that this is the USA. And y'all, that flag still stands for freedom. Amen.
Yes,
and amen.
Amen.
Amen. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Let's keep it rolling, y'all. Let's keep it rolling. What do we have here, bro? I'm 14 years older than you. The old gray matter ain't what it used to be, but we're still here. We are still here, y'all. We are still here. I love that. I love that. Thank you, Yolanda B, for shouting out our moderators on my side. Do you have any moderators helping you to moderate on your side that you need to shout out? Mrs. Paula does retirement.
I do. I am fearful that I'm going to leave out someone. So if you moderate for me and I leave you out, please forgive me because I'm elderly. But I know Sally D's Reality is here. She mods for me often. Mrs. G at Heartily Happy. And Evie at Evie Retired. Let's see. I'm sure there was someone else in the chat.
Well, I know you've had them all up there, the people you've mentioned. But the thing that, because we're using the power of StreamYard, I'm not able to see that they're her moderators, or it's not picking up on these old eyes, y'all. Because can you believe I did this whole stream without glasses on? That's the problem. That's why I'm like doing this the whole time.
Now, oh my goodness. I cannot do anything without glasses on.
Yep, that's what it is.
There probably are others, but I'm thinking specifically of those three. So again, if I left you out and you moderate for me, you know I love you, but I'm just elderly. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So many nice friends, Candy K, showed up to hang out with us. Pardon me, I'm getting wheezy. I might have to get the inhaler out on Labor Day weekend. And you know, when you invited me to be interviewed by you, and I said, can we do the last weekend of the month? My 60-year-old brain did not even think, oh, that's Labor Day weekend. So I want to thank everybody specifically for hanging out with us and sharing part of your Labor Day weekend with us. That's so kind and so awesome. Thank you.
Same here, because we should have putting our heads together. I said, oh yeah, works for me too. And we just, and then it wasn't until like y'all earlier this week, Tuesday of this week, when we both realized, this is a Labor Day weekend. So what we said was, oh well, we'll see what we have. We'll work with what we have. But friends are absolutely here in this chat. And y'all, I dare say they're all here to see and hear from our good friend, Mrs. Paula Does Retirement. Y'all, this has been a great, great live stream. What a great way to really lean into this Labor Day weekend. Mrs. Paula, y'all, what does she do outside of being in these YouTube streets? Well, we know she goes for her, is it chair Pilates or chair yoga? Which one are you doing?
It is chair yoga. I've started going to the senior center about 3 weeks ago. Chair yoga is free, and Silver Sneakers is free, which is a light aerobics for people, for senior citizens 60 and over. And then there's a drumstick fitness class that costs only $5, and it is a good workout for your arms and your mind because you follow the pattern that the instructor sets. Candy K, I swear I can almost feel new synapses connecting because I'm learning a new thing.
Connections. Those are brain connections.
Yes.
I know that much.
Yes.
Don't
and
ask me more questions or you'll make me look silly. So
you
yes.
know how important that is
Yes.
when you're a certain age plus 10. You've got to be learning new stuff all the time. So yes, and it's just wonderful, wonderful.
Yes, yes. So Mrs. Paula, y'all, she's busy in these YouTube streets. She's busy in the real streets, supporting her community, connecting with her community. She's got channel goals, y'all. Let's help her to reach those goals. Now you know, Candy K doesn't give her coveted 10 out of 10, highly recommend, okay? But lean into this, friends. 10 out of 10, highly recommend. Our good friend, Mrs. Paula, does retirement. Mrs. Paula has done, past tense, she did, Candy K, coffee and conversations with us this morning. We're going to let you go. We're going to give you back the rest of your day because Mrs. Paula says she's got to tend to the young people in her community. So y'all, thank y'all for rocking and riding with us. This is Candy K and Mrs. Paula. It might be this way. Mrs. Paula does retirement. Goodbye for now. Goodbye for now.